So Gushing Over Magical Girls is not your typical magical girl anime. From the jump, it lets you know that this is going to be vastly different than any other magical girl anime you've ever seen, because this one is a fan service one, and they let you know because it's ramped up by 10. So this anime essentially follows this girl named Hiragi Utena, and like she's obsessed with magical girls because in her town we see early on that like she's obsessed with magical girls because there's 3 magical girls that live in her town and they fight these different monsters and all that, and she's very obsessed with them. And one day she's talking to herself, she's like, why can't I be a magical girl? I want to be a magical girl someday. And that's when this random like bat looking mascot comes behind her. He's like, yeah, you can become one. She's like, what? And then he gives her this thing. She transforms into a magical girl. But just know that transformation lets you know that this is not your normal transformations, that magical girl transformation at all. Because for one, as she's transforming, you see some butt, and I was thinking like, oh, okay. I was like, I guess they didn't do the normal thing where they, you know, they blur it out. But then it goes to the front and you see some nips, and I'm just like, oh, well, we have this type of magical girl anime. And I'm like, oh, because I was not expecting this, because I went in this blind. I did not know this was going to be a fan service one, because I usually watch everything, and I went to this and I was just like, oh, so the transformation doesn't do the normal transformation that almost every other transformation thing in general when it comes to the magical girl transformation, that either it will have something blocking stuff or you will just see them transform. But this one is just like, nope, we're showing everything. So yeah, that's what changes this, because it's a fan service anime that is uncensored. And one of the interesting things about this is one of the few uncensored anime we've had in a very long time, because most of the anime that have came out that are fan service ones, they are usually have a censored version and an uncensored version, but this one has just straight up just uncensored, which is surprising, because I remember like when the thing that High Dive was pushing was saying that they have uncensored anime, but then you would go to their fan service stuff and it really wouldn't be uncensored, it would be censored most of the time. So it's just interesting that it's like, oh yeah, this season they're like, yeah, we finally got an uncensored one. But yeah, this one gets ramped up by 10 because there's a lot of wild stuff in here. We get a whole bunch of crazy stuff. We get the vines, you know, the vine tentacle thing. Yeah, the bat basically blackmails the girl because the girl has a very crazy outfit, and she's like, yo, I do not want to wear this, and the bat's like, yeah, you have to do this. So she basically uses this power, and it turns this flower into a giant plant, and it uses its vines to capture all the magical girls, and she has to slap the magical girls on their ass. And I'm just like, wow, we're starting off with vines / tentacles this early on. You could already tell that this anime is going to be very wild. And then later on, we have mannequins. Yeah, she transforms the mannequins, and the mannequins grab all the girls. They rip off part of their sleeves and stuff, and they get to tickling them. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, what is this? And just know the main girl, she like, the funny thing about her is instead of her being a magical girl, she gets turned into like the villain. So she's, I guess you could say, a magical villain. She's on the villain side, and that's why the bat's making her do this, because the bat does try and blackmail her a lot. He's like, yo, if you don't do this, I'm gonna post this on the internet and let everybody see, even your family. She's like, no. So she's forced to do this, and the girl, she gets into it because one, she likes the magical girls because she's very obsessed with them, and that's why the bat chose her, because they're very obsessed. I will say, the downside of this is, it's like, dog, these are little girls. Anybody that's an adult watching this realizes this shit is over the top and it is weird. This is for, I guess, the youngins, but still, it's like, bruh, you should have made them adults instead of doing shit like this, because it's like, dog, when you're an adult and you're seeing shit like this, it's not that good, dog. Like, this is wild. Like, some fan service is fine, but this shit was over the top, because from this first episode, you can tell that this is gonna get ramped up, and you can tell because, dog, they brought out vines early on. Vines are usually one of the things that you can tell like where it's going, especially if you watch, you know, some HM or something like that. You know, that's an early on thing, and it's like, I could see this getting ramped up a lot though. But yeah, that was very wild because I was not expecting this to be that crazy. The animation is actually really good. That's the sad thing about this, is the animation actually looks really good. It's just, you know, they're 14 and they look like they're in middle school. So it's like, I'm dropping this shit because like, I'm a grown-ass man. I ain't got time to be watching shit like this when I watch 40+ anime per season. I got to drop something, and I'm dropping this though. But yeah, that's the downside of it, is like, yeah, like why? Like, why does Japan love making shit like this? Whenever we get fan service, like, give us some fan service with adult. Like, can we go back to the 90s and 80s, back when we used to actually get fan service that would be adult characters? Because if you watch 90s and 80s anime, you know that they used to have some thicky ickies, and they actually had fan service right for adults instead of doing all this stupid ass children shit. Please, can we go back to that? Like, I do think the concept of this is pretty cool. Would have been actually pretty cool if her turning into like the villain, like that fights the magical girls. I think that would have been really cool, instead of it just being like a, you know, a fan service dish type shit that it basically seems like it is. But yeah, I know the appeal of this because I know a lot of people are going to lose their mind, because like I said earlier, this is one of the first anime we've had in a very long time that is straight up Uncensored, because there's not no censored version. All it's just straight up uncensored, and High Dive's letting you know because they're showing everything. They did the magical girl transformation 2 different times, for the main girl when she first did it, and they did it for the magical girls. There were a lot of funny moments. I will say there was a hilarious moment that when the magical girls, they went to school, because all of them, they go to the same school, because the main girl, she's like very shy and antisocial, but they all go to the same school, and they showed the magical girls, and like, dog, one of the girls went to bend down and she realized their ass hurt because the other day she got her butt whooped by the main girl because the main girl had to spank them. So yeah, there's one little funny moment like that, but the rest of this is just, you know, it's going to be a fan service area. This is going to make a lot of noise because a lot of people are going to be losing their mind because, you know, a lot of niggas are horny. You know, niggas are horny on the internet. So that's why people are going to lose their mind about this. You're going to see this on Twitter a lot. You probably will see maybe clips and bits of it on TikTok, maybe-ish, because, you know, this is something where you can barely show that much because of how much they be doing in here. I do see this probably being something very, very crazy as the season goes on, because I can already tell that it's going to get worse and worse. And I've already seen comments about this saying that the manga is wild, and if you look at the manga covers, you can tell that this shit gets wild though. But yeah, if y'all seen this, let me know how you feel about it. If you haven't seen it, why not check it out? You can watch it on High Dive, or, you know, hop on a pirate ship, watch it that way too though. But yes, we're starting off the winter 2024 season with I guess something very crazy. I'm not gonna say with a bang. We're starting off with something very wild, because I was not expecting this, because I got a text from one of my mutuals, one of my friends. He was like, yo, I just watched Gushing for Magical Girls, and he was like, yeah, it's wild, I'm already dropping it. And I was like, oh, if he's dropping it, then I gotta see exactly why it's wild. And then I watched it, and it was like, yeah, I see why he dropped it, because it's very wild. Like, it would have been different if these were adults, but it's like, nah, these are little girls that look like, you know, they're in middle school, but actually they're in high school type shit. But, you know, Japan loves making shit like this. They some reason they're obsessed with minors over there. Just saying, some reason they are. They need to, you know, maybe show adults again. But I mean, I guess that's why you read seinen and josei if you want to have stuff for adults. But at the same damn time, it's like, dog, why do y'all keep making horny anime like this? Like, why can't you have this towards like adults? That would be better than, you know, having children though. But yeah, I will say this, the anime actually looks good. I will say the animation does look good. That's the thing that sucks. The animation is really, really good, because there was a lot of scenes that look good. And the opening was okay-ish. I did like some of the visuals in the opening. But yeah, I mean, the only fan service anime I'm probably going to be continuing watching is Chain Soldier, because I've read the Chain Soldier manga. But this, I probably will more than likely be dropping. Like, there's no way I'm probably going to continue watching, especially because it's like, dog, they're little kids, and I'm good on that. But at the same time, this shit was very wild. I will say, for a first episode, it will catch a lot of people's attention because of like how wild and unexpected, especially if you like magical girls. You're going to this and you're thinking like, oh, a new magical girl anime, and then bam, it hits you with this just fan service and everything. Especially the magical girl transformation. When I didn't see no lines or no lights just blocking everything off, I was like, what is happening? And then you see the nips, and that's when you really realize, like, yeah, this is different though. But yeah, if you enjoyed the video, why not like? If you didn't, you could dislike, subscribe. You really enjoyed all that though. But yes, Gushing for Magical Girls is not your typical magical girl anime at all, because it's a very wild fan service anime that be showing so goddamn much. And I know as the season goes on, it's probably gonna show way too goddamn much though. But yeah, thanks for watching this video though. Bye.